podcast about people making the world a better place.
Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto. Stun up, just bought a Hummer. Pull up to the club now. Ain't nothing changed in the ghetto. Two runners and they got burners. Pull up to the trap.
Yeah, all junkies coming. Hold up. Dude, I was going to shut this down. Welcome. I see y'all back with me again. You're in this city, you're in your city, you're wherever you want to be, you're doing your thing. No matter what, though, I appreciate you coming. Every second with Corrine Williams, you know how we do, you know how we like to splash. Shout out to the whole team, shout out UPC, for our sponsors. Hello, Hooray, with the state. Shout out Ted, the whole Mojo Rising team. I appreciate y'all. This is our second season. We still ain't here and we doing it for no reason. You know what I'm talking about? All right, now I got guests here with me today, but don't think I'm here by myself. Y'all gonna jump on me. I got people that got my back too. They pulled up, they in the back, and they kicking it, they ready, they geared up, and they yes. I know it might sound a little hard. I know I come off a little hard. And you might be looking at this shirt, and you might be looking at the shirt saying, look, why he got on that old loud shirt? What do you think? Who he think he is? What do you think he going to the beach? Ain't none of your business. But I'm wearing this shirt because it's a good day. Today is a special day. It might not be a day that anybody know of, but today is World Book Day, April 21st, 2022. If you are an author, if you know any authors, if you ain't reading, then today is the day that you can do something special. You can go purchase a book, rent a book, go to the library, borrow a book, and you can sit down and read to your child. You can read to yourself if you have no kids. But we empower education. We ask for higher education. We ask for kids to be able to read at a higher level. And this is how we start. Start in the home, we can do it ourselves. So, again, happy World Book Day, April 21st, 2022. Now, I got my guests in the back. Let's go on and bring in one of my guests. They represent Black excellence. They represent positivity. They represent legendariness, motherhood, mother nature, you know. All right. I see them. Okay, how y'all doing? Now, so I guess I'll go this way and then go back down to how it is to y'all. But we'll start with Miss Cortney Jones. Thank you, ladies, you queens, so much for being here with me today. Please, I don't want to hold too much time. Introduce yourself, Miss Cortney Jones, so the world can know why I am just so intrigued with having you on this show, and I'm so happy with you being here because of what you do.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here too. My name is Cortney Jones. I'm with Change One. We're a local nonprofit in the Austin area, making sure that we're elevating the voices of youth with lived experience from foster care.
Already. So again, you represent Black excellence. I'm glad that you're here. Also, I have somebody that I've already built a connection with. She's very special. She's very supportive. She's very firm, and she already bringing the better out of me. So, for no take no more time up, please. I would like you to introduce yourself.
Well, my name is Anitra Hicks, and I'm a spoken word artist, but I also work at Cluren ISD. I'm the parent liaison at Hay Branch Elementary, and I work with a lot of people, a lot of different people in the community. So, hey.
All right, we're gonna get digging. We're gonna dig deep into this. Don't worry about it. I just wanted to get a little light introduction, a little light, just something light. It's all right. Light up your life. Now, Black excellence again. Like I say, Cortney, you represent Black excellence at its T. You have so many things that you're doing. So I always ask my guests this. because I like to leave nuggets and jewels with my people, because these shows are recorded. We can always come back and we can hear these things and these conversations. We can be so much empowered all over again. So what is some positive words as a Black woman, as a mother, as a person who have survived trauma? What slave postpartum, COVID postpartum, all these things going on. What are you saying to yourself? Is it a phrase your grandparents told you, a philosophy, a book, a Bible verse, whatever it may be? We want to know, what are you saying to yourself? What positive words you can give us that keeps you moving and keep you pushing to be a better you?
Yes. Well, again, thank you so much for giving me this platform to share my Black excellence with everyone. My biggest thing is, I say, be the change you want to see in the world. For me, I grew up in the foster care system, and so I became a social worker so that I can help other young women and men in the foster care system. And I just didn't see anybody that looked like me. So be the change you want to see in the world. And the community really is my everyday anthem. Anytime I want to give up, anytime that I'm just like, this is too much, I always just think about, be the change you want to see in the world. All too often, we don't see us. And so when we don't see us, then we're not providing opportunities for people that are coming up after us. And so every time I think about quitting, when I'm in these spaces, I have to realize I can't quit, because my voice matters and I have to be at the table. So be the change you want to see in the world is what keeps me going.
Wow. Now I love that. I love that. I love that. I'm gonna have to take that, put that on the shirt, represent that. Be the change that you want to see in the world. Don't always sit up in there with this barbershop conversation, running your mouth. Get up, get out there, man, and do something. It don't matter if the rest of the hood ragged. You got responsibility to have your yard looking nice and sharp, all the trash picked up. You clean up your leaves, and if I gotta see every house after yours tore up, burnt up, raggedy, ain't no windows in there, the kids ain't got on no diapers. Hey, man, I know one thing on this block: somebody got some sense. And all I'm saying is, if you can't do nothing else, baby, it don't matter if you can't say the word. It don't matter if you got a bunch of money. It don't matter about the material stuff. At the least you could do is make sure that you are prepared to do that in your own household. Be the change that you want to see. The generational curses, all the things that we go through in the household. You tired of going through abuse? You tired of verbal abuse? You was getting, I had a man putting his foot up your butt every Thursday. Well, guess what? You can change that. You can make sure that don't happen to yours. And that curse and that type of stuff, it won't go on to the next generation. 10 years from now, they'll be living in a whole different space because you stood up and you made a change. So I love that message. We're going to keep this thing going every second with Cluren Williams again. I love that. I thank you so much. So now we're going to get a little bit deeper into your nonprofit work. So, Ted, I know that she sent you some stuff. Do you mind sharing it? Share some about this nonprofit, what it's about, what are your goals, the things that you are affecting with this nonprofit. I think we talked briefly. I'm not sure if it was you that I spoke with, but I think that you said that you work with a numerous of communities. Am I correct about that?
I work with the foster care population. That's typically what I work with. And the foster care population is comprised of our population, just in general. Anybody can be interfaced with abuse and neglect. Anybody could need community resources in order to keep their family intact. So, although it is predominantly the child welfare system, what I realize is that many families interface with multiple systems, not just the child welfare system. And so sometimes we're working with the juvenile justice system, we're working, with the jail system. So we're working with many systems, but it's all to support young people that are in the foster care system.
Okay, so have you had any experience in the foster care system yourself?
Yes, I was in the foster care system for 10 years, and I transitioned out of the foster care system when I was 18 years old. So I was in the system from 8 to 18 because of abuse. And that's why I started Change One, so that I can give back, so that I can help other young women and young men feel like they have a voice in their life and that they have support ultimately. Because if you don't go back to your family or you don't get adopted, what happens is you transition out into homelessness or incarceration. You fall into these other statistics without a caring adult. So that's why Change One exists, so that we can be that support system, that mentorship, so that young people can have a chance in life.
Wow, wow. I just recently, this past week, did a child abuse awareness week, and I met so many different people. I don't think I met so many different people, and it was so amazing. I actually did a news clip about child abuse awareness. I too was adopted by my grandparents. Luckily, I was able to be adopted inside the family. But I didn't never really feel or really have a feeling about the adoption. It never dawned on me it was an adoption because I already had spent most of my life with my grandparents anyway. But once I got older, I realized, wow, this is a conversation that's been I'm listening to around me, and I actually have a voice. I actually have history on this, and I might can help somebody if I was to ever speak up. And of course, before now, I didn't have the energy or the thought or the will or the want to speak up about my life, my hurts, my pains, things that I have been through, or my trauma or the abuse, from
Mhm.
sexual abuse to physical abuse. I never thought one day that I would be able to speak about it. I didn't care. Sadly, I have a situation with me where I get over things fast. And as a man, I'm not the only man that don't talk about their feelings. I mean, that's everybody know that now. So I mean, I just never dawned on me that it was doing so much to me. It was so much in me and so many reasons why I was not able to control my anger. And so, looking at this, I thank you for coming out and stepping into this space. And should I say, God has put you in this space. We talked earlier, and from what I'm aware of, this is not something that you planned. You didn't have this wrote down in the notebook under your pillow. So
No.
tell me how did you land here? Where you from? And how did you get to Austin? Because I know that you also are part of the transient population that has been in Austin. So tell me that experience also.
Yeah, so after I transitioned out of the foster care system, and like I said, I want to be the change that I want to see in the community. So I went to school to become a social worker, and I started out, working with young people in transitional housing, because once I transitioned out of foster care, I was homeless, and so I felt like, if I work in transitional housing, I'm gonna come across other young people that are transitioning out, and I can support and help them. Well, during that time, what ended up happening, I met someone that was like, hey, you should be a part of this group. And it was called Disproportionality and Disparities Advisory Group. And they were like, you should talk about your experience as a person of color in foster care, so that we can change legislation, so that we could change the outcomes for other children of color in foster care. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I could do that. I could talk about my experience because, being in foster care, I was in homes with people that did not look like me. And I did experience a lot as a child of color in foster care. So I felt like, okay, somebody wants to hear my voice and it can actually impact legislation. So while I was there, this lady told me about a position. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. And she was like, hey, there's a position in Austin that you should apply for where you can continue to use your voice. And I was like, move to Austin. I was like, I didn't move all of my life, and I didn't have a choice, and I was like, as an adult, at least I have a choice. And I was like, no, I'm not going to apply for the position, but thank you anyway. So every time I would go to the meeting and the lady would tell me about this position, she was like, it's up, you should apply, or they're doing interviews. She just kept, telling me, and I kept saying, I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. But I ended up applying. I ended up getting the interview, and I ended up telling God, I don't care. Even if I got the job, I'm not moving. And it's funny how you tell God what you're not gonna do, because God is gonna he's gonna switch the script on you for real. And so at the time, how I was stepping out on faith, I encourage anybody to step out on faith, because I will tell you, ever since I did, I haven't turned back. And when I stepped out on faith and I decided to go on and come to Austin, I took myself off of Section 8. And that was hard, to believe that God got me in the door that he's opening for me is going to work itself out.
What?
So I took it.
What? Get out there, boss move.
Yes.
What's up, boss move?
Thank you. But at the time, I had a little old Neon that wanted to break down on me, and the transmission went out when I was supposed to be moving to Austin. And I was like, I be dang. And then I was like, okay, well, when I get my income tax, I'm going to pay for this transmission overhaul and it'll be fine. I'm going to go on and move to Austin. Well, when it was time for me to move to Austin, I didn't have a car. So I had to try to figure out how I was going to get to Austin without a car. So my grandmother helped me pack all that I can in her little car, and then we came on to Austin. And at the time, I knew somebody that had just sold their, not just sold, they just bought a house. So they had a vacant apartment, and they were like, you can stay here as long as you need. So I was like, okay. God was like, all you have to do is listen, and I got you. So I got a ride, and then I had a place to stay. But the funniest thing is, I said I would never work for CPS because of what I went through. But like I said, you can't tell God what you're not going to do. And what I can say is, because of the fact that I was obedient and I did listen to God, that was in 2010. And I have not went back on child welfare. And I never thought that I could do it. But I'm a testimony that, like, once you go out there and you step out on faith and you really do what you need to do, be that boss that you need to be, then you don't ever feel like you have to use the system again, but use it when you need it and then move on.
I got to do that one more time for that one.
You need it and then move on.
Man, that's what's up. Like, that's amazing. That is very inspirational to hear the transition that you get in there. Me being a fourth generation Austinite, we still have this small quarrel with Black and other people that has been in Austin trying to get those positions, trying to get these jobs, trying to work in, and they seeing how Austin is catering to the transit, and they're getting the places, and it's just a bunch of bigger, and then it's bringing so much strife between each other. And I'm here in the middle trying to say, hey, let's talk, let's communicate, let's listen, because this story right here is nothing to be nothing but inspired about. This is how you get and create change. I've been a single father since I was 16, going on 17 years old. My son's mother gave me him when he was 3 months, and I never seen him. He 20 years old, about to be 21. 20 years. I had to learn how to do everything that a teenage Black mother would have to learn how to do. Not a grown man, okay? Far from a grown man, doing grown man stuff, but way far from a grown man. And the system wasn't set up to cater to people like me. And so I had a life-changing experience because I have a lifetime responsibility. So it made me totally different than my peers, totally different than the guys that I knew of. I was different than my father. He was the old school 1970 daddy, the one go to the store and don't never come back. See, the new wave daddy, y'all run half them niggas out. But the ones in the 70s, they really were deadbeat. Them up, they don't know they ain't got no address. Child support can't find them. No, nobody knew it. They went to the store for real, and vanished. Could have been on TV where they left. But I got a different experience. I got a different taste of life. And it made me very, very open-minded and way more understanding to what people go through and the levels that they have on them. So anyway, every second with Corrine Williams, that is very inspiring. I'm glad I heard that. I'm glad you said that, and I'm glad we were able to record that. We do buy the block back here. We do like to teach real estate. We do like to get into those things. Shout out UPC and our sponsorship. So it sounds like you had to make some time to heal. What were some of the techniques you used to make some time to heal?
What I can most definitely say in my healing process, I had to go to therapy. I know sometimes in the Black community, we're like, therapy, I don't want nobody in my business. And I'm telling you, like, therapy is where it's at. And somebody that's come from the foster care system, and I've been told what to do, when to do it, and how to do it, and didn't get to pick my therapist, and always had to talk to somebody. Like, therapy was the last thing I wanted to do as an adult, but I knew that it was critical for my mental health and my healing process. So I would say therapy. I would even say medication. Sometimes medication is something that's really needed, for you to get through depression, for you to get through anxiety, you know. So for me, being in foster care again, psychotropic medications was pushed down my throat constantly. So as an adult, I was like, I don't want psychotropic medication. And something as adults we need to know, sometimes we don't want certain things that we need in order to be at peace and harmony with ourselves. So I would most definitely say therapy, medication, the Lord. Like, the closer that I get to the Lord, the more that I'm in community with other people. When I have times where I feel down, I have people telling me, you know, this scripture, that scripture. I have people praying with me. So I would most definitely say that was a part of my healing process. And most recently, another part of my healing process is being the change I want to see. So I'm going through a yoga certification right now, and I'm going through a yoga certification. And so that yoga certification is to help young people with their social emotional learning and teaching them yoga. But I'm helping myself all at the same time. You know, I'm learning about how to take deep breaths and meditation, and I'm learning these things, and it's helping me heal. And so I'm excited to use what I've learned in my healing process, learning about chakras and energy, and pouring that back into my community. So
I actually had a yoga studio in Austin. Wound up having to let it go, bad partners, some stuff like that happened, and it was really dope. So I like to reach back out to you and work with you on some stuff like that. Pretty much, I want to work with you. Period. I want to make sure that you know now. You got me on camera. Everybody record me. Everybody know me in Austin. You might just met me, but I'm the shiznit in Austin. I'm legendary in the city. I got a beautiful resume. I can go back to all my neighborhoods. Ain't nobody humped on me. Ain't nobody slapped me back my head, took my money. I ain't never did nothing. I got all my stripes. I got all my teeth before I left out the game. Everything. My hands don't shake. My bones ain't raggedy. My skin ain't raggedy. You'll see me. Don't worry about it. But anyway, I want you to know that I want to support everything you do. I invite you to everything that I'm doing, all my events. I love to share this space with you. And of course, we're going to make sure that I have you coming back around. Do you have any Black authors or anybody that you've been checking out lately? Today is World Book Day. And I'm an author. And so let me know if you got somebody you're interested in, any Black authors that you know of right now lately.
yes. It look a little bit raggedy, so y'all don't talk about me. But this the cover. This is the color. It's a Tyler Perry. Higher is Waiting. Let me tell you, this right here, it is so inspirational to my soul. It gives me hope. It gives me a strategic direction on how I can most definitely reflect on my life and change my life and take ownership of my life. Not having that mentality of poor me, but having a mentality that I can do anything I put my mind to. And Tyler Perry's story is very inspirational, and it has a lot of scriptures in here. It has a lot of questions. One part of the book, he talks about writing a letter to your younger self, and what would you tell your younger self? And I was like, man, I would tell my younger self that you're gonna make it. It's gonna be all right. There's light at the end of the tunnel.
I can remember and being in a state of mind where a lot of stuff that we talking about right now would seem so fucking lame, you know. And I'm serious. I don't know what it was. It's just epiphany. It just went by. It just went by my head real quick. It was like, man, I remember at one point I'd be sitting up here smoking, watching somebody saying some shit like this, and be like, man, you people lost y'all damn mind. But now that I'm understanding that this is not just about me, look how much I affect others with my with all this, toxicness. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start working on yourself, you start seeing how much you draw in those same type of people. At least working on himself. At least working on himself. I ain't gonna say nigga drawing because I still drawing a bunch of praises. I'm talking about, man, they bust through because it ain't a lot of me's no more. So my inbox, they getting busted on. Boom. What you doing? Is you single? What's up? You know what I'm saying? And I'll be like, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. What's your name? You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. I ain't scared of nothing though. I'm gonna see if it's crazy. I got to test the water. No, but on the real side, once you start working on yourself, you do start drawing in that energy. And if you're smart enough or wise enough, you might want to just start getting in spaces. If you're not attracting and you're attracting crazy, getting in spaces, putting yourself around them places. Man, I got out of penitentiary and I was one of the people. I was the Paul. My brother is the Peter and I'm the Paul. My pastor is what he tell us. Say, man, you Peter and y'all Paul, and y'all gonna go out and y'all gonna do y'all thing. Y'all gonna change the world. And I say, okay. And I started thinking about why he was saying I was so similar to Paul. I remember when I got out of prison, man, I literally I would not step a foot in a church. I wouldn't step a foot in the church. It wasn't that I didn't believe in God or nothing like that. It just I was done. I was so done with the Negro spiritual, man. You wasn't gonna be able to sing no song around me, nothing. My ain't them thought I was a Muslim or something. They thought I was ready to blow up something. And I was like, calm down, y'all. Now chill. Hell, leave me alone. I just don't want to go. But it was more than that. I was crucifying the word of God and people who were sharing the word of God. I had lost respect for a lot of different things out of my pain and my trauma. And I could see myself in the biblical days being that Paul killing people for saying the name of Jesus. And so I understand now. I understand that now. And I'm glad that I got you on here because, like I said, these conversations open our mind to so much about ourselves. You'll just be surprised if you're just willing to dare to be different and just have one. Thank you so much, Courtney. Though I really appreciate you. So lovely and you're so special. I'm grateful to have met you, and I will look forward to working with you more and more and more. So, Miss Anita, uh, uh, now I got you. I don't know what Ted then dropped up on me, but we're gonna have to play this because he just dropped it on me. So start it over. Uh oh. Uh oh. Hold up, Jay. Hold up.
Regardless who throw rocks at me, I follow him. Regardless who stab me in the back, I follow him. For he is the one I adore. And when life gets hard, I just fall on the floor. I look up to heaven and say, Jesus, you are the one I adore. Forgive them, they hate me because they say they know you and I know they don't. But I forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. See, Jesus. I love living this life. I love living for Christ because Jesus, you paid the ultimate sacrifice. And it's you that give me life. And it's in you that I have abundant life.
She always tell me she extra. She always tell me, say, don't worry about it. I hope you know I'm extra. But that's where the extra come from. And I love it. Extraordinary. Extra, extra, extra. So again, Ms. Hicks, you here. Thank you so much. You represent Black excellence. Again, you got the spoken words we just seen right there. You do a lot of other things. You're in the class. You invited me into the class. Next week, I'm also supposed to be coming to the class to actually read to the kids. All the amazing things that you do. Do you have any other events coming up anytime soon?
I'm supposed to be doing a poem for what is it? Celebrate Colleen. It's supposed to
Mm,
be. So I'm
okay,
writing that now. Um, and they're gonna have that be on Friday, I believe, on the
okay,
20th,
okay. All right.
next week. Mhm.
Well, keep me updated. We'll make sure we get it on the show. We get people involved. I'd love to be there. I'll check my schedule and make sure that I'm available. And if I am, I'm there in the front seat. to check you out. Now, again, I just asked Courtney what was her positive word, and I couldn't. I just it went straight down to down here from there. We went straight through the whole mud right there. So, what is your positive saying? Same thing. I asked you the same question. What are you living by? What's your rules? You know, mine is God first, family second, money third. Simple, easy, plain. Just take just like that. So, what is yours? What's keeping you through these hard times?
Oh, I got a lot. I got a whole bunch. A whole bunch. I say to myself every day, especially when I
Mhm.
wake up. When I wake up, I tell myself that I'm more than an overcomer. Greater is He that is in me than he that is in the world. Um, I also tell myself that the Lord orders my footsteps, and that His thoughts towards me are good, not of evil, to give me a good future. That's Jeremiah 29:11. And Jeremiah 1, where it talks about, I say this to myself, that before I was born, before I was even a twinkling in my mother's eye, that the Lord knew me and He ordained me to be a woman of God. He ordained me to be a prophet. He ordained me to be a spoken word artist. He ordained me to be a queen. He ordained me to be a businesswoman. He ordained me to work in excellence. So, Courtney, I want to say, I also like Gandhi as well. That's be the change you want to see in the environment. Be that change, and that was Gandhi. So I am the change. I am who he says I am, and I make sure I manifest and walk it daily. So yeah, I just say that every day when I wake up.
I like that. I like that. And I know you got plenty more where that come from. I know you're very wise beyond years, and you're very smart in everything that you're doing. You're already teaching me a lot. You're already, like I say, bringing the best out of me. So, is there any Black authors that you are aware of that you like to highlight and shout out today?
Oh, that's good. That's a great question. I'm glad you asked. No, I wish I did because I read so many books. I'm
Me,
like,
say me, just say
ooh,
my
now
name.
pull out.
Say
I wish
my
you
name,
would
say
have told
my
me
name.
ahead of time. I would have pulled something out. But
Man,
I mean,
say
mainly
me then. Don't just say
everything.
nobody. Say Cluren Williams. Just say Cluren Williams. I shout out Cluren Williams. Say me or something. Dang.
My bad, you.
All right, bet. That's what I'm talking about.
How about this? Me. Because I write poetry and I read what I write. So me, you and me.
That's what I'm talking about. Don't just say nobody. Somebody got to get some love.
Somebody. Well, yeah.
Somebody got to get some love. And speaking of me, let me just
Oh,
show y'all right now what it is,
oh
man.
yeah. I can't wait for that.
Wants to fly. This I got my children's book right here. Oscar the Ostrich is gonna be the next clip of the Big Red Dog. He gonna do so much stuff right now. He just learned how to fly right now, but he gonna learn how to work a cell phone. He gonna learn how to. He gonna graduate. He gonna get a CDL license. He gonna do all kind of stuff. Oscar gonna do the food. By the time we catch back up with Oscar, man, he have little Oscars. That's how long I want Oscar to be rolling doing his thing. But I need support. So one thing about Black authors, the reason why I give them a segment because they don't get the support. We don't get the support that a lot of authors get that are non-Black when they are doing the same thing that we're doing, not from Barnes Nobles, none of that. We're not promoted. So every segment with Corrine Williams, we like to keep things going. Um, um, I appreciate you so much for being here again. Like I say, you're wise beyond your years. Is there uh making time to heal for you? What does making time to heal for you look like?
Making time to heal for me is reading the Word of God, meditating, learning how to meditate, learning how to face your trauma, trace it. How did it start? Where did it enter in? Uproot it, and then replace it. Replace it with positive thoughts, with positive memories. Learning how to heal is also counseling. I've been through so much. I should write a book. I really should write a book, all the stuff that I've been through as a Black woman, as a single mother, raising two daughters and a son, especially in America. Um, Being positive, even when it comes, because how can I say this in a polite way? Um, I'm an ex-wife, not a baby mama. I'm an ex-wife. But a lot of times men will say, "Oh, that's just my baby mama and not an ex-wife." when there is an ex-wife, and then not be negative when raising your kids when you have issues with the ex-husband or the father of your children. Being positive, teaching your kids how to love their father when their father don't show up, when their father is not there, when their father is going through his own mental things, whether it be because he's a black man, because he's in the military, when he get out the military, or whatever he might do. Showing your kids how to love their father regardless, and speak life over their father, and pray for their father. And I did that with my kids. Like, I put my feelings aside of whatever issue me and him had, and yet show them this is how, I'm looking at the bigger picture. I'm looking at the bigger picture and showing them how to look at the bigger picture. And so that's a part of healing too. And then teaching other people like myself how to heal, how to, face it. What is the trauma? Take ownership of what you have done or what you have allowed. And even if something happened to you as a child, like I say it proudly. Proudly as in I'm not ashamed that I was molested, but yet I don't say, hey, because I was molested, this is what happened and this is how I act. No, I was molested, and yet I healed because I went to counseling and allowed the counselor to show me who I was as a child. What happened to me as a child wasn't my fault, and I don't have to blame myself. And then going from there, and then showing my daughters what worth is, what it looks like to know your worth, and how you're supposed to love yourself, and even my son. And then teaching other kids the same thing. Love yourself, know your worth, from middle school to elementary to high school, and even grown women talking to the child in them that was hurt, talking to people and showing them, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay for you to heal. It's okay to go to a counselor. It's okay if you got to get on medicine. It's okay taking you. Go ahead.
Things I just heard from you right now, that I just heard while you talking. Two things. One of them, you started in your own household. I've never, ever in my life, 37 years alive, heard a woman speak that way. 37 years. Never. I got some wise women around me, but I've seen them do what you said, but I ain't never heard them say what you said. Second thing is, you evolved that, went from your household right into the world, and did the same damn thing. Then you didn't stop there. Nah, that wasn't enough. You went and started pulling over these women where I rarely see now women pull other women coattail. And you identify with them too. That is amazing. And I didn't want to cut you off, but that's what I just heard, from what you just said.
Yeah.
And that is amazing.
Because
Again, I already told them how special you is. And I ain't gonna give you everybody. I ain't gonna give you to everybody. So I'm bringing you on here, but we're gonna keep segments together. I ain't gonna let you give it all away. Oh hell no. Not until I get a paid button on there, something that say jingling every time you say something. Then I put it on there. Cause I ain't gonna let you give it all away. No. I gotta get some of this for you, man. I'm greedy. Yeah, I'm a hog. I'm from the east side of Austin. That's my nature. That's just how I am. I
You gotta
always been.
share her. You gotta
Yeah.
share her now.
I'm
you
sharing
gotta
it
share.
now.
I'm like this. I went through my
I'm
stuff.
gonna make sure that
Where the guy say,
that
freely you give, freely you receive. So some of the stuff I went through, it was free. Yes, some things cost me, but
Yeah.
some things was free. And
Yeah.
and a lot of times when it comes, especially when it comes to the church, and church folks and ministers, they fail to realize that first you have to start in your own house. You have to heal with yourself. If you're broken, you can't go out and fix nobody when you're broken and you're hurting. So first you have to heal yourself, and you start with your own house. I didn't sugarcoat anything with my kids. My kids knew and was aware of me being molested. They knew. And I talked to them when they was of age. I didn't talk to them when they were little bitty kids. When they were little bitty kids, I was more like, make sure don't nobody touch you here. Make sure you don't do this. If somebody touch you here, I don't care what they tell you, you come and you tell me, and mama gonna protect you. So yeah, I waited till they were of age before I shared. And when I did share, I started with them. I started with myself, and then I started with them. And then, like you said, you have people just come to you. I have all kind of people come to me. I could be in the grocery store and they come to me and tell me their whole life. And I'll sit there and listen. I'll pray with them. I'll talk to them. They could be, if they is crazy and out their
I
mind,
wish I could just take
talk
your
to them.
brain. I wish I could take your brain right now, stuff it in Megan Stallion head, boom, stuck it in Cardi B head, just stick it in all they head. Come here, girl. We about to do the upgrade transplant. We get new brains for y'all. Fuck the asses and the titties, brains.
The service you provided was the best I've ever received. I love that we can stay in the
Every segment with Cluren Williams. As you see Ted, he playing some stuff right there. That's some news clipping, man. Last week we talked about Patrick. I think it's Patrick Lawyer. It's his last name. He was executed by I think that was Minnesota police. So
The fatal shot fired. Local 10 investigator Jeff Weinzer is in the newsroom with what the video shows. Jeff.
From the get-go, the family of Antoine Cooper has said the shooting was unjustified. They even called it murder. In the video, we never see Cooper actually reaching for a gun. The family claims it is a Miami police sergeant that actually fired that fatal shot. March 8th, a traffic stop northwest 71st Street and 10th Avenue. It is near Miami Northwestern.
Over all the windows for me.
The driver, 34-year-old Antoine Cooper, says he left his insurance information at home, but he does have his registration.
That's fine. I just need the license. I'll look up the insurance. I ain't got no license, right? Any weapons in the vehicle I need to know about? Just go ahead and step out the vehicle. You're good. You're good.
When the officer tries to Cooper, he tries to flee.
Yo. We got shots fired. Shots fired. Shots fired.
We went frame by frame taking a look at this video, and we never saw Cooper reach for a gun or have a gun in his hand. Along with the video provided to Local 10, we did get this picture of a gun found at the scene, but they haven't said where this gun was found.
He took my son's life. He's a murderer. He shot him in the head in close range with another officer right there. Mr. Cooper was not holding a weapon. Mr. Cooper was not attacking an officer. And that sergeant used lethal force.
On the day of the shooting, Miami's police chief said this.
The officers became aware that one of the individuals in the vehicle was armed. A struggle ensued. One of the officers discharged his firearm.
That sergeant is on leave pending the outcome of the investigation, and that investigation is being conducted by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. We've slow-moed the video provided to us by the Miami Police Department. If you'd like to see it in its entirety, head over to Local 10.
Another traffic stop. I thought it was going to stop with Sandra Bland. It didn't. I thought it was going to stop, but it didn't. I thought the riots destroying the cities all over the world, I thought it would stop, and it didn't. We defunded police departments all over the motherfucking world, and I thought it was going to stop a little bit, and it didn't. Time and time again, traffic stops. I don't know how to relate that type of message or the type of message that the viewers may need to hear. But it's hard for me to wrap my mind around how you die from a traffic stop. 2 incidents back to back. This happened a little bit before Mr. Patrick, but they both were executed, shot in the head. These videos that I showed you guys for the last couple of weeks, I'm talking about 30 seconds. I'm talking about it's like there's no thought process in these officers when they grab their guns. It's like it's like they train and they're prepared for the time when they get the opportunity to shoot a black person in the head. Women, I don't want y'all to think that you exempt. Please don't, baby. Please don't go down there and think. Because a lot of women do. They got this airhead syndrome. They don't care who in front of them in the lines. They don't give a damn. When they get their stuff in their grocery store, they don't care who's standing next to them, basket all in front of them. They bend over, ass all in front of your face. Hey, they don't care. They going to get their groceries. They going to do what they want to. They don't think nobody's about to harm them. Women don't wake up every day and say, somebody going to kill me. Men usually do. Black men, we usually wake up knowing that somebody may try to kill us. That is a hard place to live in, a very hard place. Countless times I see this, and it is very disturbing. It hurts me so bad. It hurts me so bad. I'm just looking at his mother. I could just imagine standing there right there with her, with no real man representation, and they're about to exploit her child, her family. They won't get $1 off of it. This story will be all over the world. Every news station, every anchor man gonna get buku money just reporting and being able to get inside story about what just happened. And she won't receive none of that support. This gotta stop. Of course, I love to say we gotta stop killing each other, so they'll stop, but they won't. We gotta have some real laws. We've been able to put laws in for Asians. We've been able to put laws in for the LGBT community. We need some laws for black people, period. Gay, straight, whether y'all realize this, black people come in all shades. We can be white as snow or black as an ace of spades. Okay? Yeah. So quit it. Just stop it with the mess, man. We come in all different shades, okay? But they still are people. Mm-hmm. And this got to stop. If you'd like to get involved, if you want to support me in some of the efforts that I'm doing to help stop some of these things like police brutality, systematic racism, etc., I can go down the list. You know how to reach me. You know how to get involved, and you know what to do. For my guests, I love y'all so much. I appreciate y'all coming here today. I did have another video, but we're about to get ready to run out of time. And I love to invite you both back on here another time when y'all available. Cortney, we're gonna be working together. Okay, I'm gonna be calling you right now. I'm trying to figure out all the things that we got in common because it's so much. But we gonna work together. I'm gonna support you. I'm gonna bag you up, whatever you need. You in my city. I'm down with you. Okay, I'm down with what you stand for. We're gonna make sure that we get some support in that nonprofit. There are plenty of funds floating around Austin with the rest of their racist asses. And all the gatekeepers, I hope y'all watching this motherfucker on the sneak. Fuck you too. Get out the way. We need our turn, man. We need some like-minded people that's willing to sacrifice for our people in them same seats. I hate to say it. We need them in them same seats because we are praying. Because we voted, we're going to vote you in. If you're black, pretty much we're going to vote you in. I ain't going to lie to you. We're going to vote you in. But we praying we get the right one to go in there and do something for us. Please. Go in there and at least be willing to speak on our behalf when it's quiet, when nobody around, the cameras ain't up. Because that's when the real deals get made. Deals don't get made in front of all you folks. Wars don't get started and everybody know about it. This stuff done in the background with the real ones. So we want that. We hope that we can find that. So Cortney, thank you. Ms. Hicks, thank you so much. I'm going to get ready to do my closing and let the world know I got a bunch of information from these women today, and I'm going to figure out what did I learn from them, because I ain't even have nothing. I ain't got to have nothing. It's my damn show. I say what I want to say, do what I want to do. If you don't like it, you can get out of here. But I ain't going to be like that. I'm going to tell you what I learned, and I'm going to keep it straight as a perm. So, what I learned was that no matter what, the responsibility of one's growth will start with ourselves. Seeing people work on themselves and then start using the work that they did on themselves to work for others is beautiful. Baby, little mama, queen, beautiful woman, come here. I want you. Let me tell you the truth. You ain't got to come to my table with nothing. You ain't got to come to the table with nothing. You know why? Because you useful. See, if you useful, you ain't got to have it all. You ain't got to have it figured out or nothing. We can do this together. But I need you to be useful, because I'm a roguish man. I'm a real caveman. I ain't never needed no table to eat. Do you hear me? You can come to my table with nothing if you want to. Just be useful. And watching people work on themselves, watching them change themselves and their household and the ones they are responsible, that is the most responsible thing a person can do. Can't tell you to do nothing else. But I can tell you one thing. I'll see y'all next Thursday at 5:30. I want you to stay dangerous. I want you to stay woke. Oh, there you go right there. Stay woke and be the light of the world. I love y'all, man. I'll see y'all next week. Keep your head up.
Life is a dream. Just know that I'ma ride for my team. Know that I'll die for my team. To the top, I'ma rise with my